Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my #1 Sentai Gozyuger episode commentary and reviews. This time it's episode 38, Judgement Ring Hunter. And remember, if you do enjoy what you see, please remember to like and subscribe and maybe even leave a comment. It just means a lot on a small channel like this. Now let's get into the episode. The episode opens with Kuon asking Herero for another drink at his waiting job. As the two talk, and Herero flashes back to the perfect universe, before he asks his brother why he joined the Britain. Kuon says he never did, and he wants to be with Herero, before just saying he was joking, and leaving, as he says all he wants is the rings, looking at the mark on his hand as he goes. Back in the No.1 world, Bouquet is giving Ribbon a present of flowers and a little prison from the Queen, as Fire Candle introduces the Guardians, as he gets bitten for his troubles. As Ribbon leaves to go get some rings, Bouquet goes to follow her, as Sweetcake points out the dusty state of her Rikuo shrine, sending her into a fluster. As, arriving in the real world, Ribbon ditches the flowers and heads out, while plotting to take over the Britain. Back at Taiga Village, Herero is moping over his brother, as Kinjiro is practicing his air guitar, annoying Herero, who snaps at him before mentioning Mr. Koyo, an old mentor from his time in the No.1 world. Elsewhere, Kuon is confronted by Mr. Koyo, and seeing the ring on his hand, transforms into Garyudo, firing at Mr. Koyo, who blocks every shot as he engages, becoming Deca Red, as we go to the title card. As the two fight, Deca Red has the advantage, either withstanding or blocking Garyudo's attacks, before powering up with SWAT mode and blasting away with the D-Revolver. As Garyudo sends an attack back with the Wolf Decalibur, Koyo knocks it away before using the license to judge Kuon, before being hit with an attack himself, seemingly destroyed. Before getting up close and avoiding a hit, he ducks and blasts Kuon away, forcing a power down as the Gozyugers arrive. As Mr. Koyo reveals himself to Herero, Ribbon shows up and traps the Rangers in the little prison. And as she aims for Kuon, Mr. Koyo jumps in, being captured as well. As Ribbon demands the rings in exchange for freedom, Kuon demands to be released, but Ribbon refuses. Ryuji tries using his strength to bend the bars, but fails, before Mr. Koyo introduces himself and says his wish is for Kuon to see the light. As he explains about when they were found by the Britain, and a young Hisamitsu was captured by a Guardian, and he saw the boy being given the Taiga ring and corrupted by the curse, revealing that Kuon was being forced to fight all this time. As Rikuo says they will need to work together to escape, but he won't forget what Kuon has done, as Kuon agrees to a temporary truce. Outside, the Britain guard wakes to the sound of the brothers fighting, as he's knocked out when entering the cage. In the corridor, a barely disguised Kinjiro encounters another guard, as Kuon clings and clangs for him, before taking out the guard, saying if they destroy the key, they can leave. Finding a black box that's guarded by Britons and Guardians, the brothers and Koya transform as they start to fight, quickly joined by the other Rangers. Garyudo pulls out Serrano Hammer and Leon Buster, taking out more Britons, as the key passes from Ranger to Ranger, and as Herero powers up as Taiga Sword #1, the brothers work together to destroy a Guardian, as Deca Red uses a D-Sword Vega to take out the remaining one. As Goju Polar reclaims the key and the Rangers hit it together, destroying it and freeing them all. As Garyudo aims at Ribbon, he turns, cutting down Goju Wolf and Deca Red, and with the Rangers surrounding Herero, Garyudo attacks and overpowers Deca Red, and we get winner Garyudo, as Kuon steps forward, collecting the ring. Telling his brother he had sought out the power, as a flashback shows him asking for it from Taiga June, in exchange for his everything, saying he would never want to be saved. He turns and walks away, being joined by Ribbon, who he tells if she ever does that to him again, he will destroy her, as she flees back to the No.1 world. And later, as Herero sits with Mr. Koyo in hospital, Herero says Kuon is no longer his brother, as the older man says he's sure Kuon is still suffering, and the only one who can save him may just be Herero, as the episode ends. Okay, so, I've got a few thoughts on this one. It was an entertaining episode. I would have liked to have seen Deca Red carry on a bit longer. as he's a never before mentioned pivotal person from Herero and Kuon's past that we've never seen or heard mention of before. It was, just Miss Mine or whatever her name was. And yeah, all of a sudden he was there as well, and he was, so key to their past. He was like a father to them in the other world. But yeah, I'd never heard of him before. So kind of yeah. There's a new Britain, and it's a kind of dog, spiky dog, and they're called Guardians. Okay, I mean, they're pretty cool. Considering they're used for hunting stuff by the looks of it, would have been nice to have seen these before. They definitely seem a lot tougher than the normal Britons we see them fighting. Although the Britons seem to be putting up more of a fight this time, considering they seem to be... I mean, with the exception of Deca Red, Scaryudo and Goju Wolf that were taking on the two Guardians, and it took Garyudo and Goju Wolf, who was powered up as Tiger Sword #1 at the time, to actually defeat it, and Deca Red was able to beat it by himself. It took the other five rangers, trying to remember how many rangers there are in this episode, to take on the Britons, and they were actually being overwhelmed by a similar amount of Britons, which was kind of strange. Again, because of everything that's been going on, there was no Samino in the episode, so Goji Unicorn just appears for the main fight. No opening credits whatsoever, so instead of the hastily edited together credits last week featuring a lot of clips from the episode, we just got a title card. And yeah, I mean, I suppose that sort of goes for the norm for most shows and stuff these days, especially in the West, so it's not that unusual, but strange for Sentai. Another thing is Bouquet still seems to have a thing for Rikuo. Although, I swear, just a few episodes ago, or a handful of episodes ago, wasn't she starting to realise that Rikuo and Goji Leon were one and the same? She seemed to sort of be having that revelation at the end of one of the episodes. So, I mean, that kind of explains why it's all dusty and covered in cobwebs if she's like that. But she's just going, oh, no, I was just so busy. Which is a bit strange. She still seems really... The other thing is, Rikuo feels like a major hypocrite here. Because... when it was Ray, he forgave him like that. And yeah, he turns around and goes, oh yeah, you might be, exactly, you might be have been forced into this, but I'm not going to forget what you've done. I know. Despite, when it came to his friends, he was all about saving him and all the rest of it. And yet, Hero's brother, oh no, I'm not going to forgive you that quickly. Ugh. Really? Not to mention, at the end, and this one bugged me, because Garyudo steps forward, aiming his weapon at Ribbon, but then he spins round and takes out Goji Wolf and Deca Red. Obviously, Herero powers down. Deca Red is still powered up. But all the Gozugers just surrounds Herero to make sure he's okay, I guess. They're just sort of surrounding him. While Garyudo then proceeds to beat the hell out of Deca Red. Which, he ends up getting the ring. Surely at least one of the Rangers, one of the Gozugers, could have stepped in to help Deca Red against Garyudo. Or, just have one Gojuger making sure that Herero is okay, and having the other 4, I can't count today, the other 4 go over and fight Gary Udo, which would have saved Decker Red and stops him from getting the ring. It just feels so weird that, you know, it's not episode 5 anymore, or episode 10, or whenever he first came in. They know what he's capable of, and yet they're all just stood around her. Who's the only one who actually does anything, because he's shouting at him. He's like, no, I thought you wanted to be. And it's like, yeah, you could never save me, and buggers off. And Ribbon, oh yes, I'm going to take over the Brit. You've just been created. Okay, you've got a backside that's a dinosaur mouth, but I don't know, I'm not keen on Ribbon. I've got a cat that's absolutely going insane behind me. So it is just, I don't know. I know things are up in the air at the moment for this show. One rumour that I have seen, I don't know if it's confirmed. Supposedly it should be, if this is true, then we will start seeing Samino again from episode 40. So we got one more episode of her being edited out, and then we've got Samino back again, played by a different actress. And yeah, feels a bit weird, but I hope it works. You know, if this actress just has to reshoot the scenes, you know, not so much work to do. Obviously, there will be on the Samino heavy episodes. It is a crying shame for, like, the actress Maya. Can't remember her surname, but yes, crying shame for the original actress. And apparently, the actress replacing her is Oni's sister from Don Brothers. So it'll be interesting to see if this rumour pans out. I did like her as Oni's sister. I really enjoyed Don Brothers. It'll be interesting to see how she plays Samino. If she actually tries to just copy, like, the previous actress's portrayal. Yeah. So to see how it goes, and that'll be for the final 10 episodes. Although it would mean they wouldn't be able to do a Don Brothers Gozyuger crossover unless they had Oni's sister playing herself and herself. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that was my thoughts on the episodes, and I think the cat wants to go out. So I'll see you guys next time.